Hey guys, some more reaction here on Off the Top Rope, off the Mike Sports Network, reacting to the finish and conclusion of Monday Night Raw. Bianca Belair obviously involved. She had already won the Elimination Chamber. She's at ringside, and inadvertently, I guess, helps Io Sky win the women's world title. And it's seemingly a setup that, at least as of now, in name only, we've got Io Sky versus Bianca Belair women's world title at WrestleMania. I do not think that that is going to be the match. I think Rhea Ripley will be involved in this. Rhea Ripley cut an impassioned promo, just being devastated by the fact that, hey, her family is gone. Damian Priest is on another show. Judgment Day, and Liv took everybody from her in Judgment Day. She thought Io was her friend. She thought Bianca was her friend, and she just kind of, freaked out, and it cost her the championship. So this is good storytelling. So there's no way to tell how we're going to get to Rhea Ripley getting involved in this match, but I have a feeling she's going to have a legitimate case saying, hey, Bianca hit me or whatever. Okay. So let's break down the women's division here, a couple things, and then I have a big overriding point coming out of this. So first of all, okay, actually, let's go with the big. Let's start off with the big stuff, and then I'll tell you why. And let's actually do this a little bit in reverse. I'm doing this on the fly in the video. So the big point here, I think this match has a good shot to main event WrestleMania. I said a couple days ago, before this, because this was before the match and everything that transpired in the aftermath that led to the shock title change, and now looking like we're going to have a triple threat between three of the best women working today, not just in WWE, but in the entire world: Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky. So I think this has a realistic shot to main event WrestleMania, because these are three of the biggest women's stars. No matter what you say, Io Sky is a big fucking deal. Okay. And anybody who wants to insult that, be racist, and I've seen a lot of racist shit get thrown on the internet, fuck you. You know who you are. Okay. But here's why I think that this is now potentially moved into a situation where we can get a main event match out of this at WrestleMania. For one, I think it would probably be the best match. I think Charlotte and Tiffany, it just doesn't feel like a main event match. I think Charlotte could deliver a main event match. I think it's just, for Tiffany Stratton, main eventing WrestleMania at this age, it's just like, I'm not saying that it's too big for her. It's a tough ask to do a match with Charlotte Flair and be in the main event. So I just do not see that happening. I think Rhea, Bianca, and Io can deliver a main event caliber match as females. And it would be a great statement for the women's division, and a giant FU to all of the haters of Triple H saying that he doesn't care about women's wrestling, that he could put it in there. But I have changed my opinion in the last couple days because of what happened on Raw. Because I think what is unfolding in front of your eyes is setting the groundwork for a shock heel turn. And think about it in your mind. Okay, which one of these three women would turn heel? So Rhea Ripley ain't turning heel. You heard the reaction she's been getting? That's not happening. Io Sky ain't turning heel. She just turned babyface and is one of the most over people on the roster. And you're saying, Mike, Bianca Belair is still one of the most over people on the roster. Yeah, I understand. But what you think about this, what you are watching unfold in front of your eyes in the last 4 or 5 days since Elimination Chamber is a strategic way for Bianca to get her way back into the main event picture. Because I think it's going to be revealed at some point that either one of two things happened with Jade Cargill. It was either both Naomi and Bianca, with somebody being the figurehead leader, which would probably be Bianca, or it's just Bianca and she passed the blame off on Naomi. I don't know which one of those things it will be, but it makes a ton of sense for Bianca Belair to be the main culprit in this whole thing. Here's why. Number one, she has been a heel for 5 years. She's been a babyface for 5 years in the main roster. She had a really good run in NXT as a heel. She could really pull it off. And I think she really needs some semblance of a character change. As much as the EST and how much of a badass that she is, I think adding an edge to her character would make a ton of sense. We also don't know, and we also don't know what her true motivations were being out there outside of, because obviously Rhea got inside of her own head of cheering her on. But, you don't know if Bianca Belair was really motivated to seeing one or the other winning this or having an easier path to winning. So, and then, however this triple threat gets sets up, this could set up for a potential shocking ending to night one of WrestleMania, where we get the reveal of all of this stuff. And maybe you do the Jade Naomi stuff on that night as well. And we figure out a way, and maybe they form a big old faction with the Meta Girls. Why not that be a thing? Like, I think that what this women's division kind of needs is a dominant female group. I'm not saying a dominant group with females, a dominant female group. And you mean to tell me that, hey, Naomi potentially, like, if this ends up being a full-fledged heel turn, then this is me kind of fantasy booking here, but this makes a lot of sense. Naomi somehow beats Jade with the help of the Meta Girls. And then it's a triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania. And potentially you have Naomi and the Meta Girls helping Bianca Belair win the women's world title. And you may be saying, well, what does that do for Io? She only had a month title reign. Story's great. And now you coming out of that, you have a dominant female heel faction. Because we don't see that very much so. We see that a lot in NXT. Like, obviously, we had Toxic Attraction, and then we had, Fatal Influence now. Like, you need a dominant female group. If you put Lash Legend alongside, Jakara Jackson, who's not as physically imposing, but Jakara and, Lash are a great team. And then you have Naomi, and then you have, so Jakara and Naomi are really the athletes. And then the powerhouse and the muscle of this group is Lash and Bianca. To me, that makes a ton of sense. And it really freshens up a lot of those women. And if you want to create hey, some adversity for Jade, and you want to make Jade the baby face out of this, have her overcome and conquer two women who physically match up to her in Lash and Bianca. And then obviously you have the athletes there. That is a hell of an idea. And I just talked that out of my ass out of thin air. So imagine what they could think up with if they go with their minds here. I do think that this is kind of pie in the sky, but if you're going for a shock finish and you want to end a night of WrestleMania with a statement, the problem with this, and I know some people pinpoint saying, Mike, you want Cena to beat Cody the next night, and ending both nights with heels winning would be kind of a detriment. I mean, it would be a historical moment for Cena winning number 17. So I don't know, but the reality of the situation is, I think what we're seeing in front of your very eyes is the evolution of a Bianca Belair heel turn. I think that's why this has now become a much more compelling and interesting situation to monitor. With just a lot of things percolating in the outside for maybe something very interesting that we haven't really seen effective on the main roster. Like, we have not seen we've seen Lay Cool and some of these other things, but we haven't seen a group like that I just proposed. So why not do it? Why not? You have nothing to lose. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna go with a triple threat at Mania, somebody in this situation with Io, Bianca, and Rhea, somebody is going to have to turn heel. You can't have all three of them be babyface. And it doesn't have to be before the match. Like I said, it could lead to the result of the match. And the only thing that I can think of that makes any sense whatsoever is Bianca turning heel. And you've been seeing the signs there. There's been speculation running rampant, and it feels almost too convenient that Jade went immediately after Naomi in the chamber, and Bianca was hysterical. Now, if she's revealed as the culprit in this whole thing, that is a hell of a great acting job by her as well. But this freshens up a lot of things in the women's division, which is doing really well. But this is a fascinating little story that we're going to have to follow here going into WrestleMania. And big picture, I think this has a chance to main event. But I think really what you're looking at is the evolution of Bianca Belair and potentially the EST going HEEL, going heel. So anyway, thanks for watching this. We're going to have a lot more coming here. Appreciate it. And we'll have some live streams coming as well. Thanks for everybody who's subscribed to this channel. It means the world to me. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.